I tried to make money with AI, and I failed. For weeks, it was just nothing. Then, one tiny shift in my thinking made me $500. And I promise you, the secret is not what you think it is.
So yeah, this isn't one of those get-rich-quick stories. This is the real story of what it actually takes. You know, the frustration, the doubt, and all the failures that came before that first little win. So stick with me, and I'll show you exactly what changed.
Okay, let's just get right into it. This is where it all started for me. A big, fat zero. I was seeing all the hype online, right? All these AI side hustles supposedly printing money, and I thought, hey, I can do that. I had the motivation, I had the excitement, but I had absolutely no idea what I was doing.
So I dove in, head first. I'm talking weekends just gone, learning new tools, staying up way too late trying to build something, anything. And for weeks, the only result was crickets, silence. My bank account didn't move an inch, and that initial fire of excitement, yeah, that started to feel a lot more like that cold, sinking feeling in your stomach.
So my first idea was a classic rookie mistake. I tried to build this super complex, technically impressive AI service, you know? I was so focused on making the tech look smart, I never stopped to ask the one question that actually matters. Is this solving a problem that anyone actually cares about?
And, well, the market gave me a pretty clear answer. Zero. Zilch. Not a single sale. I mean, not even a curious question about it. All that time, all that energy, it felt like I was just screaming into a void. It was so discouraging.
Okay, fine. Plan A was a total bust, so I pivoted. I saw some other trendy AI idea getting traction online, and I copied it. I figured, hey, if it's working for them, it's got to work for me, right? I built a new service, I launched it, and then I waited and waited. Still nothing. And this is the point where it got really dark. My internal monologue just went completely negative. What am I doing wrong? This is impossible. Maybe everyone online is just lying. Maybe this whole AI side hustle thing is just one giant scam. I was completely convinced it was all hype.
Let's be real for a second. 2 failed ideas, weeks of work totally down the drain, and $0 to show for it. After all that effort, if you were in my shoes right there, would you have given up?
Because I was right there. I vividly remember closing my laptop one night, feeling how cold it was, and just thinking, that's it, I'm done. This was a colossal waste of time. I was ready to just delete everything and pretend it never even happened. But right as I was about to give up for good, this tiny thought just popped into my head. It was a different way of looking at the entire problem. And in that moment, I realized something so simple, so obvious in hindsight, that it changed absolutely everything. I realized my entire approach was just backwards. I was trying to sell a complex, confusing service in a niche nobody cared about. So I just flipped it. I decided to offer a dead simple service that solved a painful problem in a high-demand niche where people were already looking to spend money. And that was the breakthrough. It was never about the AI. The tools were incredible. The problem? It was me. My strategy was fundamentally broken. I was focusing on all the wrong things. So armed with this new, much simpler strategy, I decided to give it one last shot. I didn't overthink it this time. I created the new offer in less than an hour, put it out there with like 0 expectations, and then my phone buzzed. $12. That's it. Look, it's not life-changing money, but seeing that first payment notification after weeks of nothing, oh my gosh, it felt like $1,000,000. It was proof. It was the universe finally telling me that this new path was the right one. It actually worked. Then, a few days later, it happened again. $47. Okay, this wasn't a fluke. The gears were actually turning. That horrible feeling of being stuck was finally being replaced by this incredible feeling of momentum. And then a bigger order came through. $123. The difference between this feeling and the weeks of just staring at a zero balance was just unreal. This was the payoff for not quitting when every part of me wanted to. And by just repeating that simple process, I crossed the $500 mark. I mean, going from total frustration and 0 results to this, it felt absolutely incredible. And it all came from that one single shift in strategy. So, you've seen the journey from failure to the first few wins. But what was the actual method? Let's break down the exact no-fluff principles that took me from 0 to 500. This is what actually worked.
It all came down to these 3 keys. First, find a high-demand problem. I stopped inventing ideas and started looking for small, annoying tasks people were already paying to fix. For example, tons of small e-commerce stores have terrible product descriptions. That's a real painful problem. Second, offer a simple AI service. My offer became, I'll use AI to rewrite your 10 worst product descriptions to be more persuasive. Simple, clear, valuable. And third, focus on fast execution. I built that offer on a freelance site in under an hour. No more weeks of planning, just action.
But before you run off and try this, we have to talk about what most people online won't tell you. This is the reality check.
So, here's the crucial part. This is not easy. It is definitely not passive income. This is an active side hustle that requires real, focused work. And just like me, your first attempts might fail miserably. That's just part of the process you have to push through.
If you take only one thing away from this whole thing, please let it be this. The AI is just a tool. It's a powerful lever, but it is not magic. It doesn't find the customer, it doesn't close the sale, and it doesn't build the trust. You do all of that. The AI just makes you faster and more efficient at it.
So knowing that it's a tool to amplify your effort and your ideas, the real question isn't what the AI can do. The question is, what will you do with it?
If you want to follow along as I run more real, honest, no-hype experiments and see both the wins and the losses, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.